Welcome. Welcome to today's online session. Hi new people, hi not so new people, hi people that have been here for ages. Today, what we're going to do with our yoga practice is do some tension release. Whoa, brilliant. We're all very tense right now. It's a tense world out there. And we can use our yoga practice to not just relieve tension. This is what is so brilliant about yoga, is that it's not just about releasing tension in your body, it's about releasing tension up here as well and around us, or that magnetic field, our aura, that area around us, the immediate area around us, the inner aura and the outer aura. And this is a place where, whether you believe this, whether you think this is a bit like, oh yeah, whatever, whether you believe it or not, whether the capacity of your brain and what you're thinking about is able to get your head around it, it's a fact. And these thought forms float around us. And that's why something that happened yesterday, that you've seen yesterday, hangs around and you go, yeah, it's because it's floating around there. And the more that you think about it, the more energy you put into it, the bigger that gets. And an example of that is something like something that you've seen yesterday, or something, a phone call. Let's start with a phone call. A phone call you get and you're like, and it's quite an irritating phone call. You put the phone down and you start thinking about that phone call, about what was said. And you're thinking, well, you know, Then something else happens. You forget about it for a while. Then the next day you wake up and you think, that phone call. Now that phone call and the subject matter of that phone call start to get a little bit bigger. And you're starting to think about it a little bit more. Then you call up another friend and you go, guess what that phone call was yesterday? Now this phone call that started with a 5 minutes phone call is now going round and round and round 24 hours later. Maybe a week later, you go, you know what, do you remember that phone call? These are all floating around us. And it's up to us whether we put energy into them and they become bigger, or whether we move on from them and they float away just like clouds in the sky. And what practice of yoga does is it helps us to let those thought forms float away like the clouds in the sky, and to not hang on to them for so long so that they fester and become bigger. I mean, we could talk about this literally for hours and hours and hours, and maybe that's another discussion for another day. But what we're going to do today is move those clouds on from a practical point of view. And I totally get it, because it happens to me all the time. I've had tendencies to overthink. And so my practice is something that I've been doing for 30 years. And it's something that I love because it helps me move those thought forms on. And they get stuck in some of the key areas, generalizing that they get stuck, shoulders and neck around here, and also around here, that we can become, because what happens is you get the phone call and you're sitting there, and that sitting position starts to become a little bit like this. Look familiar? And then it's like this, and then we're thinking about it more like this, and and that continuing like that makes all this area very stiff and rigid. You sit like that for 8 hours and then you try to unravel it in 1 hour. It's quite tricky, isn't it? So we need to keep moving, keep these areas moving, keep pushing those thought forms on so that we still maintain an aura of clarity and clear. So we're going to start standing, and we're standing on our mat. Let's extend those wings out, connect the fingers, and then bring the fingers behind the back of the head. Maintain that nice straight stance and bring the chin into the chest, and just let the head come into the chest. And when you're here, I think it's safe to say that you can feel some of the tension here across the back of the shoulders, the neck, and you're using the arms and the elbows to weigh that down a little bit. Let's take 5 breaths. Taking a full inhale, and with the exhale, the head becomes a little bit heavier. Inhale, exhale a little bit heavier. A little bit heavier on the exhale. One more, inhale, a little bit heavier on the exhale. Then we're going to bring those hands around the side of the head and bring the head up to stand. Extend the right arm out to the side, and we're going to circle that right arm around. Put the left hand on the hip, inhaling, exhaling, it comes forward, a bit like doing a backstroke. Exhaling, it's coming forward. Inhale, exhale, keeping the weight balanced on the feet. Inhale fully, exhale fully. Swap it to the other direction. Inhale, exhale forward. And you can see that I'm rotating my arm. I'm not just randomly circling it, I'm rotating it in this shoulder socket. And the next time I rotate it backwards, it's going to stay back there. And then I'm going to step back with my right foot. So small step back with the right foot, and the right hip starts to open out to the right side. I press back on the right heel and press down on the front of the left foot and extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. Press back more on the outside of the right foot and extend forward with the left hand. Then bring the left fingers down to the shin or the knee. Look back at the right hand and extend the right arm up. And we're just doing a very small Trikonasana. Looking up, maybe we can walk the hands down a little bit more, but keep looking up so that you don't dip forward like this. You're opening up like this. But we're just opening up the side of the body. It doesn't need to be that big. Take another inhale, come up, and then we're going to revolve that. So you're rotating, the right arm comes forward now. The left hand goes to the hip. The right hip's coming forward as you extend the arm forward. And then on the exhale, that right hand is coming floating down to the outside of the left foot. Option to put a brick there to make that a little bit higher, a little bit easier. You're rotating on the torso and getting a nice twist and looking up at the left hand, breathing there. 1, 2, nice gentle rotation. 3, 4, and then on 5, circling that arm around, circling that right arm back again, and stepping to the front of the mat. Just opening up, doesn't need to be that big and strenuous. Let's go to the other side, circling back the left arm. Inhaling, the circle goes round, exhale, hand comes forward. 2, 3, and you're already feeling you're starting to loosen up. 4, 5, let's go the opposite way, front crawl now. 1, and that right hand is just resting on the right leg or the right hip. 2, 3, 4, and then this time the hand's staying there. I'm stepping forward with the right foot. I'm extending the right arm up. I'm pressing back into the back of the left heel, and I'm extending the whole of the right side forward. Extend that arm forward, bring it down to the knee or the shin. We're not going too far. Look back at the left hand and follow it up. So we're in a triangle. If you feel like you can go a little bit lower without dropping forward like this, then do it. Otherwise, you can stay here to get your lovely side stretch. Breathing there, breathing into the side ribs. 2, 3, 4, and on 5, inhaling up. Lovely expanded motion. Exhaling, revolve. So now you can see the right hand goes to the right hip. The left hip rotates. The feet don't move. The left hip rotates forward. The left arm goes forward. Taking an inhale and an exhale, it comes to the outside of the right foot. Again, put a brick there, rotate the torso and look up at the right hand, or there's an option to wrap it round the back of the waist. Breathing there. 2, 3, breathing into the side ribs here. 4, 5, unrotate. Big, big, big rotation circle there. Step the feet together. That already feels very expansive. Opening up again. Look at the amount of rotation that we're getting in our shoulders, and then coming down to the mat. Looking forward, stepping back with the right foot and putting the right knee down and coming into a low lunge, making sure that the left knee and the left ankle are stacked up, hands are on the hips. Sweep the arms forward, open up and come into a nice crescent lunge by pressing back on the toes on the back foot and opening up the front of the body. Not too much compression there. Watch out for that compression in the back. Take an inhale there, and then you bring those thumbs to heart center. Take an inhale there, and then you're going to rotate. Now we're doing another rotation. You can see the right hips rotating forward. The right elbow hooks outside the left knee. I'll turn around and show you. And then you're rotating around. Breathing there. 1, 2. Just focusing on the twisting. So you're look at being careful that that knee at the front doesn't start to do this kind of thing. So you're pressing it against the back of the elbow to keep it on line. The next exhale, let's inhale, come back to center. Frame that left foot. So fingers and toes are next to each other. Spring off the right foot. Nice big long right leg. Bring the right foot down next to the left. And then let's roll up. Circle those arms around. More circling the arms on the inhale. And on the exhale, we're floating down, extending and lengthening. And this time it's a left foot back. And that lunge, sweep the arms up. Nice crescent lunge. As you give those back toes that are tucked under, a nice little massage there. Pushing on those pressure points. Kidney 1. Exhale through heart center. Take an inhale, your thumbs are here at the center, and on the exhale, twist. So again, now the left hip rotates forward, you hook the elbow outside the knee, and you twist around to the right side. Inhaling, exhale, rotate. Drawing the navel in. Inhale, exhale, rotate. 2, 3, 4, 5, unrotate. Frame that front foot, tuck the toes under on the left, spring off to a nice long standing splits. Left down next to the right, roll up. Circle the arms again, around as you roll up. Exhale, let's roll down again. Inhaling, extend, lengthen. Exhaling, fold. Stepping the right foot back. But this time we're going to keep the knee off the mat if we can. Take the hands onto the hips, elbows point back, and you're coming back, you're in this lunge, but try not to do that thing where you spring up and down. Stay nice and low and power back through that right heel so that the front of that hip flexor there feels very open and strong and stable. Hips, shoulders, we're all lined up with the top of the mat. Rotate on the back foot, open up that right hip to the right side, right shoulders to the side, left arm forward, right arm back, eyes on the front, middle finger, and then that lovely windmilling action into extended side angle. Breathing into here. 1, 2, 3, use the breath to extend. 4, and on 5, we're going to windmill through center and look at this big rotational movement as we bring the fingertips to the outside of the right thigh and we extend and lift up out of the left waist. 3, 4, and on 5, we're windmilling back to warrior 2. We're rotating around to lunge. Take one step in so that your stance, both feet are facing forward, and then you're just bringing the weight onto the front foot. Big toe stays there, the big toe points down as you very, very gently come into a warrior 3, really maintaining alignment. 3, 4, 5. Let's go to the other side. Inhaling, open. Exhaling, folding. This time we're going back with the left leg back. Yeah, nice and stable and strong, hands on the hips again, coming up to the high lunge, but again trying not to bounce up and down through that hip, sweeping the arms up, Heart center, rotate on the back foot, that opening of the left hip, eyes on the front middle finger, forearm to thigh, open, extend, breathing into this side. 3, 4, and on 5, windmilling through that warrior 2, reversing that warrior, lifting up out of this waist, getting into all those stiff areas, yogis, windmilling back, rotating around on the back foot, stepping it in so the stance is shorter, coming up onto the toe, hands are on the hips, and then we're lifting that back leg up, pointing the toes down. Breathing 4, and then on 5, coming to stand at the top of the mat. Inhale fully, exhale fully. Stepping back with the right leg, rotating around to the side of the mat. And on this first one, both feet are parallel. You extend out your arms so that you can see that your feet are underneath the palm of the hands, and the hands come onto the hips down here, not up here, down here. Roll the shoulders out the way, the elbows point back, and as you inhale, you lengthen the spine forward. Big, 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 long spine, and then bring the fingers to the floor. Inhale, look forward again, and then keep the left hand there, rotate the right. Look up at the right hand. Turn the torso, 2. Keep the legs stable, squeeze the mat together, 3, 4, and on 5, we're coming down. Swap. But before you do, let's just extend to make sure that we haven't collapsed in that lower back, and you're rotating around to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring the hands down. I'm going to make that a little bit deeper and walk the fingers to the right foot. So you're rotating a little bit deeper now. Left hand outside right ankle, twist. 1, 2, keeping the back nice and long. 3, 4, 5. Bring the hand down. Walk the fingers to the opposite foot. Hand on the ankle, lengthen and rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, and on 5 the hand comes down. You walk the fingers back to center, soften the knees, a small bend in the knee, hands on the hips, coming up with that lovely long back again. Step to the front of the mat. Let's give that a shake off. Let's give the arms a shake off, the wrists a shake off. Legs, and the head. And then come to stillness. This time we're going to step out with the left leg. Rotate to the other side. But this time, instead of the feet being parallel, we're going to turn the heels so that the toes are, it's at a 45-degree angle. The feet are going that way. And then you're going to bring the hands on the hips again, elbows point back, and sit down on an imaginary chair. Hands on the inner thigh. We're going to twist opposite shoulder to knee. Inhale through center, nice long back, shoulder to knee. And this really gets into some juicy bits in the lower back and the waist. Shoulder to knee. Shoulder to knee. Shoulder to knee. And then inhale to center, stay nice and low, and we're coming into goddess. Everyone's favourite. See if you can sit down. There's a tendency in this pose to be a little bit like that, but just see if you can sit up. 3, 4, 5. Inhale up. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. You can probably feel by now that your whole body is starting to wake up. It's very simple and quick. Inhaling up, we're going to go all the way down to the mat now. Exhale down, stepping back with the right, stepping back with the left, the knees down. Rotate the arms and just the tip of the chin in between the hands, and then you slide up to cobra, bum to heels, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and on 5 we're jumping straight in to Malasana squat, everyone's favourite. Oh, getting right into those hips. And if this is first thing in the morning, this might feel quite stiff. As you sit down straight to Navasana, extend the right, extend the left, release the hands. We're going all the way down to the floor slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, hovering at 2, and then all the way down on 1. Stepping the heels in towards the back of the thighs and buttocks. You might even be able to touch those heels. Straightening the left leg, crossing the left ankle over the top of the right knee. Arms are nice and wide at the moment, and you lift that foot off, right foot off. Thread the left hand through, catch the right hand at the back of the right thigh, and draw the knees towards you, really getting in a little bit more experience. You'll be able to really get into those areas. Bring the right knee forward. Less experience, if you're just a beginner, this will already feel like there's quite a lot happening. Getting into those hips, just feeling where you're able to move. Release the hands, put the right foot down, and roll onto the outside of the right foot so the left sole of the foot comes to the floor on the right side, and you're turning and looking at the left hand and breathing here in the side ribs. 2, 3, 4, 5, back to center, and then you're rolling the other way. So the knees go left, you look right, and you're breathing into more of the right side there. 2, 3, 4, and on 5 we're back to center. Straighten the legs, step it next to the right, straight to the other side, cross the ankle over the knee, lift the left foot off, thread the right hand through, catch the left hand at the back of the left thigh, and moving those hips again. Feeling the quite big difference maybe between the left and right. There's a lot of different stiff areas for me there. And at the end of the exhale, I'm putting the foot down. I'm extending the arms out, and I'm rolling onto the edge of my left foot, and the right foot comes to the floor on the left side. I look at the right hand. Big breaths there. Big inhale. 3, 4, and on 5 we're coming back to center. We're rolling onto the inside edge of the left foot. Knees go right, you turn left. Feeling that nice and juicy in that lower back on the left side. It's quite hard to get into that lower back, but this twist does it very well. Coming back to center, straightening both legs, shaking those legs off. Let's bring the arms in, so we're in bug pose. Let's shake that off. And then release the arms wide. And slowly bring the feet down and extend, if you've got the space, into a nice wide Shavasana. Three, 4, and 5. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Nice little hug. Head down, and then we're rolling over to one side. Little pause there. Take the hand to the floor and come up to sit. Sitting in a nice easy pose, hands rest on the knees. And just take a moment here to tune in. Well done, yogis. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. You're all set up for it. A lot can happen. See what I'm saying? A lot can happen in 15 minutes. Feeling a lot more mobile, yeah? Feeling a lot more loose, a lot of energy starting to move around, feeling the benefits already. Great. I'd love to hear from you. put some comments down below and let's hear how much you enjoyed this flow and how much you're able to incorporate yoga into your everyday routine.